Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community and neighborhoods. And now, from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. Dorothy, we've spoken this year a lot about the fact that this is our 16th year doing the show. Yeah, since 2009. However, today it has a special meaning. My guest, one of my guests, Annelle Staal, has been on the show 9 years ago and 4 years ago. 9 years ago, she graduated high school. 4 years ago, she came on with her sister, and she gave us a fill-in on her musical career and the switches and the changes. And when you get to do something for 16 years, you get to watch talented people grow and develop.
Yes, you do.
And out of the blue, Annelle and I spoke a couple of days ago, and the timing couldn't have been better. Annelle, last month, married Ben Youngblood. So, Ben, good morning.
Good morning.
And I already complimented you on your good judgment.
Thank you.
Right? And I've had the privilege of knowing Annelle since she and her family moved here to Southern Pines, and I've sort of had not a front row seat, but I've had a seat where I could watch her from a distance. And I already told you how I feel, right? And you are in agreement with me because you married her.
It sounds like it.
I think so. Yeah. Annelle, it's so good to have you back.
Yeah.
9 years ago, you graduated high school, and you came on the show that day, and you were performing locally in Southern Pines and more in Pinehurst. And from Southern Pines and Pinehurst, you went to Nashville, you went to Raleigh. You have lived more life in your last 9 years than most people I know. You're 26 now.
Mm. And it feels like 3 lifetimes.
Right.
You know, between that time, I've gotten to see so much of the world. I've been able to tour the country.
Yeah.
So seen so many cities that I had only heard of beforehand. And it's like honestly so wonderful to be back here with you.
At 26 years old, your life experience right now, I would put it up against anybody who probably is now 40. And what it does is it teaches you perspective, it teaches you resilience. Your life lessons have probably been plenty.
Mm. Yes, I would concur. My time in Nashville, I think back to 9 years ago.
Yep.
When I graduated and I moved out there, and to catch the listeners up to speed in case you didn't catch the last 2 times I was on All Things Moore County.
Right.
I spent 3 years in Nashville working with an artist management company.
Yeah.
I worked as a songwriter there. I got to see many different studio spaces and interact with tons of other artists.
Right.
From there, around the pandemic, I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
I got to know that scene as much as one can when everything shut down.
Right.
I started hosting a late night show on a platform called Twitch TV, where I developed an international audience, and I do improvisational comedy and music 3 nights a week online. And from there, I moved to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Oh my!
Yeah, tons of moving, and for the last 5 years, I've had the distinct honor of getting to interact with people all around the country, all around the world, travel and do shows, and I'm now in Raleigh, North Carolina.
So your hyper focus is pretty impressive because it talks about your commitment to your art. And it's a difficult industry/business to be in. We were talking before the show, Ben. But before I even go into that, tell me, you guys got married about a month ago.
Yeah.
Tell me the story. How did you meet? Because we want to get into the music as well, but there are so many videos on YouTube of the two of you performing. There are 2 shows of Annelle from 9 and 4 years ago that anybody can listen to by just going to YouTube, type in All Things Moore County, type in Annelle Staal, as you just did.
Yeah, they're on my Watch Later playlist on YouTube now.
And we'll have a multiple choice test after you view
Oh,
them.
okay.
Study up.
Yeah.
Tell me how you guys met.
Okay, well, so we both had worked with a producer down in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
A mutual friend of ours connected the two of us. I was looking together to pull a band together for this show that I had in Las Vegas, which was at a really cool venue called We All Scream. It was over like a special TwitchCon event, and so there are going to be a lot of fans there. It was a big deal, but I didn't have a band.
And this is about 9 months, 10 months, almost a year. I think it was about 10 months before this show.
Yeah, so we had ample time to prepare for this. But I also had a show at the Sunrise on the Horizon, the Sunrise Theater here in Southern Pines.
Right.
And Ben hit me up and was like, I heard you're looking for guitarists. And I had auditioned with 2 other people before I met with Ben. And we agreed to meet up in Raleigh. And I think the first day I met him...
Which is where I was living.
Yeah, he was living in Raleigh at the time. The first day I met him, he offered me tea, which I thought was a really good sign. And we talked for like an hour before we ever got to playing music, so we really hit it off. Mm-hmm. It was a no-brainer. Ben is the most talented guitarist I've ever had the privilege of working with.
Wow, that's saying a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
That's saying a lot.
He's an incredible artist of his own.
Ben, where are you from?
So I grew up in Raleigh. I was born in Michigan. And
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of family out in
Happens to,
Michigan.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that we have that.
Because that's where
in
you come
common.
from, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But I grew up in Raleigh.
And how long have you been in the music business?
So I started playing. I
3,
started
4
getting
years old.
Yeah, practically. No, I started getting paid to play gigs when I was around 12 as a guitarist. And then when I was 14, I started my first band with a group of friends.
Yeah.
And we started playing gigs around town and
Yeah.
at our school. And
Yeah.
and then I started playing solo around town when I was about 15, 16.
Okay.
And I've been doing it ever since.
Your
in various
family is from
capacities.
Raleigh.
Yes.
Yeah. And the two of you share a similar passion.
We do. Yeah, we kind of
Obviously.
have similar, I mean, very different in reality how our lives have our careers have gone, like individually, but we have kind of similar stories, I think.
We hear music the same.
Oh.
When we got together, I think something became clear because we have backgrounds in roots music, and we play in different styles, but we hear songs and musical stories and moments in a very compatible way. And it was very natural for us to start playing together and writing together. And after we did a 2-hour-long special at the Sunrise Theater and we did this show in Vegas, we realized we were in love. And we started, really pursuing like our musical voice as partners together after that, especially.
Yeah, the chemistry that you share, it was obvious to me the minute you walked in the door. But you know what they say about chemistry, don't you? What people always...
It's a really hard class.
It's hard. Yes, it is. But it's a difficult thing to define. Like, why can you walk into a room, not click with somebody, or really click with somebody? So I have always maintained that chemistry has a lot to do with shared pasts. And like you said, seeing the world through the same set of eyes or the same way, and then growing from there. And you obviously, the two of you obviously share that. So your journey continues. I mean, if we had you on every 4 or 5 years, we would have to just rip it up and go to chapter. Do you remember when we first spoke, I said to Annelle, I said, she was graduating high school. She was wide-eyed. She was, just ready to conquer the world. And I said to her, you have so many chapters in your book, right? But I did not know that she would have, by the age of 26, 8 or 9 chapters already closed and moving forward. So you're kind of way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I do feel that way. I like to say, I think the universe, God, however one would define it, really believes in me.
Yeah.
Because I've overcome and have faced so many challenges. But I think the things that come at us in life equip us, for the next chapter. So
spoken like an old soul, right? Because tell me, this business is full of heartache, isn't it? Disappointment. You have to just dig deep within to regroup, dust yourself off, and go again.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we both feel the same. It's I think Jim Carrey said this in an interview once, that you're just as likely to fail at something you hate doing, so you might as well do what you love to do.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think either of us really feel like there's much choice in the matter for us. Like, no matter how hard the time might be, and how bad a gig might go, or how kind of down on our luck we might be at any given point in time, it just always feels a bit inevitable that we're just going to pick ourselves back up and keep trying.
You guys are both so ridiculously well spoken. Oh my gosh. I mean, both of you like old souls.
I think that's partially why we have the chemistry that we do.
Yeah. Well, you're going to talk to us and bring us up to date this show about your album, some new music. We're going to play some clips, and you also are going to do some performing here in the studio as well.
We couldn't pass up the opportunity to serenade you.
Well, now that you mentioned it, I go back to 9 years ago. If people watch the show of Annelle, the day she got out of high school and came over here that afternoon, she wrote a song called How I Roll. And she performed that song, and I have never in 13 years gotten that song out of my head.
Wow.
Or 9 years, I'm sorry, 9 years. And I remember that song, and I played it this morning, and it resonated as strongly today as it did when I first heard it, because it displayed her as a free spirit. She was kind of poking fun at life, but she was also embracing life at the same time. In other words, come what may, I'm here and I am ready. And it was a joyous song. And you've mentioned to me that other people have said that to you about that song.
Indeed.
You play the ukulele on it, but it's a happy song. And that spirit is still seems prominent to me, that you are both optimistic with what the future can hold, right?
Always. I think that our optimism and a willingness to believe in the future that we dream of is, I think, lost on so many today. I get a sense of hopelessness, especially in young people.
Yeah.
And I feel very determined to hold on to my hope. I think that's super important, and to be playful is to be wise and to never grow old.
You're turning a leaf. You're moving forward as a team. What are your goals right now for the next 2 years, next 2 or 3 years? What do you have on the docket?
So much.
I can tell. And we only have 2 or 3 minutes. Well,
2 or 3 minutes.
Cliff Notes version first, and we'll come back to it in the second set.
Yes, Cliff Notes version. We play in a trio called the Annelle Staal Trio. We really believe in our music today, and we want to take it big time. We believe in the message that we have to share, and I want to be playing festivals next year. I want to release a debut full-length album next year, and I just want to see us shoot for the stars. For the first time in my career, I feel fully equipped for everything that might mean, and so I'm very optimistic and open about what 2 years can contain.
From the time you went to Nashville to today, I'm gathering between the lines that you've learned some very hard but important lessons. about what it takes to get from here to there, and that you can't rely on other people?
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
It takes a village.
Okay.
You need really wonderful, solid community around you. You need your people. You can't do it alone. But also, you must recognize that you have control over your own destiny and your own life, and you're at the helm of your own life. And I do think that I've learned that you can take the wheel and make just about anything happen.
Yeah, it's. I assume you both are in your 20s, and it's impressive to me to see people your age who are so focused and kind of know where you want to go, as opposed to people sometimes they do what society tells them to do. They get a job, they do this, they do that. They don't have their heart in it. They don't have a heart yet. They haven't developed that steely-eyed passion that puts you guys so far ahead. I can't even tell you, because it's when I meet committed people move me. Uncommitted people, I'm like, oh my gosh, these poor people, they haven't found the formulas yet. They don't know themselves. I get the impression the two of you do. Right?
I would say that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think, as I said before, it's as much of a choice as it's not a choice. I feel like it's just, maybe we were just lucky from an early age. I feel like I was really blessed to, find music at such an early age, and I never really looked back when I started playing guitar. It just was, I think it took some time before I realized, oh, this is actually what I want to do for a living. I just always knew I just want to keep playing guitar. I just want to keep making music, and it's never really changed. There's a part of me that's still that 9-year-old kid that's just like, wow, this is so cool.
Don't ever lose that.
Yeah.
Don't ever lose that spirit.
Yeah.
Let's come back in the second set and let's talk about your new album, and maybe play some music.
Sounds wonderful.
Annelle Staal, Ben Youngblood are my guests. This is All Things More County. We'll be right back.
So much so that due to distress, the kite flyers would throw us into the dump. And there we would ride, side by side, baby. We'd light up the light. But it would be you that I would be next to, and I would be me still, and so it would be us.
Welcome back to our second set of All Things More County, with Annelle Staal, Ben Youngblood. Annelle, that song takes me back to the 40s and 50s. That's the Annelle Staal trio playing?
That's the Annelle Staal trio. We've had a bit of a revival of that 40s style jazz in our own listening habits.
Right.
We love Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, and I just think that the richness and the romanticism of that era feels so refreshing today for me.
Right.
Yeah, we love that genre.
That particular song, is that on an album already, or is that one that's going? Because you are at the outset of a new album. A really
significant album, really special project. And what the listeners were just listening to is a song called Sardines, and it is on this new album, which is called Going Up, and that's coming out on October 10. Yeah.
That's next week.
Next week.
Right around the corner.
What great timing.
Yeah.
Okay. So October 10, and how will you release it? How is it released? What kind of mediums?
It's going to be out everywhere. Wherever the listeners like to listen to music, you can find it on iTunes. You can find it on streaming services like, Tidal, Deezer, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube.
Wow.
We've been encouraging our listeners and our community to purchase the album.
Right.
We have reasons for that, but one of them is we were going for a very high fidelity sound. A lot of times if you stream music these days, the sound quality, there's a bit lost. But if you purchase an album, like in the olden days, like the 40s, you'd go out
when I was a kid.
Yeah, you'd get a
Back
record.
in the 40s when you go on iTunes and buy a record.
Not really, but
Right. You'd own the music that you like to listen to, and today we pay a subscription to get access to what we listen to, but we're feeling a bit old-fashioned. This record is really timeless to us, and we call it a great addition to your desert island catalog if you didn't have Wi-Fi and you wanted to listen to something over and over.
What is different about this album that distinguishes it from past recordings that you've done?
This is the first time I've ever been a co-producer on an album of mine. This is also the first time I've produced something and I've been such an integral part of the mixing process and engineering process, and it's all been done in-house. So Ben and I recorded, engineered, mixed, of course, wrote this project all on our own without outsourcing to like another mixing engineer or producer. It also feels like a bit of a return to a very special place for me as a writer. You have known me for so long, and back 9 years ago, I was playing the ukulele. About, I would say, like a couple of years after we recorded that podcast, I put the ukulele down in a big way, and I leaned very heavily into my piano skills. And I'm back in this kind of acoustic soul folk era. So I've got the ukulele in my lap again. We wanted to strip the music back and make something very timeless and simple. We both have really enjoyed the way the industry has moved, and the pop music today is really cool, but we like a very classic, simple sound. And maybe I'll let Ben speak to how this record feels significant to you as well.
Yeah, I think that it's an incredibly intimate album. There's very few instruments overall. Only one song has drums on it, but the rest of the record is very stripped. But at the same time, like you said, it's a very hi-fi recording, and I think we were really going for the best of both worlds when it comes to achieving what feels like a live performance, but has the quality of a hi-fi studio record.
Yeah, you feel like you're in the room with us.
That's great.
Yeah.
But it was incredibly challenging to get to that point.
It was so hard, Bill. It was.
We thought it was going to be easy at the beginning, and we were like, we'll take a couple days, and we're just gonna get into the studio. We're just gonna sit down, record these parts, bim, bing, bang, boom, bop, whatever. It'll be easy. And then 6 months later, 8 months later, 15 months later, still banging our heads against the wall, starting over, scrapping what we had done 3 or 4 times to achieve the quality of performance that we were really looking for.
Right.
And I think we're really used to performing together because we stream on Annelle's Twitch channel a lot, and that was where the inception of this record came from, was when we had performed some of your music for the first time, where I was just playing guitar and you were just singing instead of you normally play piano and I accompany you. Yeah. But everyone was like, "Oh, this is really cool. We want to hear a duo record from Annelle and Ben, that's kind of like reimagining Annelle's songs." Yeah. So that was the inception of this. And then we were like, yeah, it's easy because we have great chemistry. Yeah. When we perform, it's, the energy's there. But then when you get into the studio, it's like an incredibly sterile feeling because there's no audience, and you're hearing yourself very crystal clear through the microphone and the headphones. And, we're tracking things, we're recording the parts separately. So we're layering parts, and you're trying to achieve something that feels like a emotional live performance, which I think that energy comes from the audience largely when you're performing. And so we're trying to recreate this feeling that we have when we perform. And that was it turned out to be a huge challenge for us.
In watching a few of the performances, I have to say Annelle is so stylish. It's not.
What are you trying to say about me?
I'm not trying to say anything about you. I promise. But in addition to the music, she has a presence, and she embodies it, whether she knows it or not. And there is a style. I don't think it's. I think it's not unconscious. I think you do it with a purpose, but I think it's very effective.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the stage sets me free to be what the full expansive being.
Funny. Yeah.
that I feel like. And as we're in the studio and we're trying to recreate the magic of the stage and the charisma, how do you get that across in audio recording?
Right.
We realized, I like to call it a zero resistance performance, where, when you're trying to do something perfect, you feel really tense in your body.
Right.
I wanted to learn, how can we perform and I feel no tension in my body? I feel like I am on stage when I'm just expressing myself. I feel free,
right,
light as a bird.
Right.
And through literally blood, sweat, and tears, we got there. And this record feels zero resistance. I genuinely feel like listening to it, you start to catch air. And it just feels, it's so full of love and hope.
Right.
Because I think we were so relentless in our pursuit of an energetically clear recording.
Yeah. And this album comes out available October the 10th. Mm-hmm. That's literally next week.
Mm-hmm.
8 days from
8
now.
8 days from now, yeah.
In this moment.
I have to, and we want to play a couple of other things. I think we will at the break here. I think Dorothy will go in and play another clip for us. What do you make of all the singers who have created YouTube channels, who are asking you to subscribe, and there's so many. In the last 10 years, it's just a preponderance. People are doing that because I guess it's more cost effective, and they're doing it on their own, right? I think of how difficult it is to rise above the noise, to get yourself up, so people can see you in a different level. But that challenge is there regardless, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the world of social media, I find, is very performative.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to put their best foot, most curated foot forward.
Right.
And in this day, I would say the way that I intend to rise above the noise is to present something very authentic and vulnerable. Yeah. I think people are starving for genuine connection and realness.
Right.
But yeah, it's such a full market. Everybody's trying to use every modality possible to rise above the noise. And I think that a wise way to go about it would be to the process of eliminating the unnecessary platforms, work, performance, and who's the author of that book on our table? The one with the pink cover.
Khalil Gibran.
That one.
Secrets of the Heart.
Secrets of the Heart.
Khalil Gibran.
Ancient poet.
Khalil Gibran is a Lebanese poet.
Yes.
I have The Prophet was his most famous.
The Prophet.
Yes.
Yeah.
I won't even tell you a story, but my great uncle actually knew Khalil Gibran.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk about that at some point.
Was something. We're going to come back in the third set. We're going to play some music. We're going to talk more about your music. and your forward view. We've covered so much of where you came from. We only want to know now where you're going. This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back.
If you were a sardine, I'd hope to be in your school. If I wasn't, baby, I'd swim the whole pool. If we got caught, I'd hope to be in your can. Snuggled up tight, we'd traverse the land. Covered in salt, sat on the shelf. But I'd be the happiest sardines ever felt. Because it would be you that I would be next to, and I would be me still. And so it would be us, and no matter the iteration, oh, to be next to you, it's my dream come true. To be next to you is my dream. Yes, sorry. Because it would be you that I would be next to, and I would be me still. And so it would be us, and no matter the iteration, to be next to you is my dream come true. To be next to you is my dream. It's my dream. Ready? You make it feel like we're the first two on earth, marveling who God might be in all of his great work. Wonder if working is something we should do. You make it feel like we don't need to. You make it feel like we could change the world. And when you look at me, I can really feel her twirl. I feel like everything in between with you, like I'm the prism shooting through the blue. Oh, I'm as high as a mountain when we're walking side by side, as small as a mustard seed looking into your sky. That's what you make it feel like. That's what you make it feel like.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, that was mesmerizing. Tell me about what we just heard.
So we're in the middle of recording the album, and Ben starts playing this little thing on the guitar,
Okay.
as he does, and I'm like,
Sounds like this.
and I was like, can I write over that? That's
wow.
just, it was just started bringing so much out of me. He goes, yeah, sure. So I tell him, just do that on loop. About 20 minutes later, I had these verses, and the song is called Feel Like, and it's very much born out of this idea that, like, when you're with someone that you really, really love, it feels like the infinite is possible. You feel limitless. It feels like it's just the two of you on planet Earth.
Right.
And that's definitely how it feels with
Wow.
him.
So you gave us a little bit of an insight into one of the songs on the album.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And the rest of them people can hear in a week.
Mm-hmm.
8 days.
8
No,
days.
not
From
even.
now,
S-
whenever
uh,
this
Yeah,
comes out, I don't
right.
know.
Yeah, actually it'll be less than a week.
Yeah.
So what captured me was how both of you were. You didn't know there was anyone in the room, not Nicola videographing or myself. You were just so wrapped into the music. You close your eyes and you go to another place, right? And you picked up on the backup vocals. It just seemed so smooth.
Thank you.
It was really very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You remind me of so much of the folk era that I grew up with, the Judy Collins of the day. I mean, there were so many, and to this day, there are so many people in our generation and generations above you that go back to a time because, like you said, this is such a crazy world and time we live in. There seems to be a nostalgic. A need for that nostalgia, and music is one of the most identifying ways to get back into a period, right, where you share music.
Yeah, I tell people we have invented time travel. It's
Yeah.
called music.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So after the album is released, do you have a social calendar of events coming up between now and the end of the year? I would think you would.
Yeah, we do. I can tell the listeners they can go to AnnelleStaal.com. There's actually a Google Calendar that you can subscribe to if you wish. It has all of our virtual and in-person shows that people can kind of see what fits into their schedule if they want to check us out.
Right.
We'd really like to tour as a trio next year. So you may be able to find us in Moore County this winter for Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's on our, we're definitely coming home for Christmas, and we want to grab a show or two here just to celebrate the holidays as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you have kept up with your Moore County ties. Because I remember the time I saw you performing. I was with your dad. We were at the Jefferson Inn.
Yeah.
And your dad was walking around. He was walking around like a nervous promoter. Not really. He was very proud of his girl, and he was wired. He was up, and you were performing and having a blast, and people were loving you. Those connections, are they still there?
I mean, it's been so long since I've been in a place where I've really I felt like I have something to offer my hometown. I think naturally as a young person, you're like, I need to get out of Dodge, see the world, differentiate myself. In this season of life, I feel like particularly this project would be a really great fit for Moore County. And even though it's been a long time since I've been at some of these venues, I mean, my heart feels so fondly toward them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping one of them will remember me and let me back into the doors.
I'm sure they would. There's a subculture of music here in Moore County. There are, I'm sure you're familiar with Red's Corner. People are out there all the time performing. Different clubs in town, and that subculture is getting stronger and stronger. You're a trio, and we could not have your third partner on. Can you tell me a little bit about your fill out the trio for me?
Yeah, I'll let Ben do that.
Yeah, he's a longtime friend of mine at this point, and we met in college at the University of Miami in Florida, where he and I both attended the Frost School of Music.
Right.
And in 2019 to 2020, we were also both in a band together that formed at the end of college, and we were touring for over a year together in another trio. And he ended up moving up to Raleigh a few years ago, and
because you were there.
Yeah, just for me, really.
Yeah.
No, well, he actually, while we were on tour, we spent some time in Raleigh, and that was his first time being in Raleigh. he goes by X as his artist name, and he really said he fell in love with Raleigh when he was visiting, and he and his partner ended up moving to Raleigh a few years ago.
He's lovely. You would love him.
Yeah, he's great. We were bummed he couldn't.
I'm
make
sorry
it with us,
I'm sorry that it couldn't work.
Next time.
But there are so many places people can go online to see you perform beyond YouTube right now. I mean, so if they were just to go and do a search of the Annelle Staal Trio, there should be a zillion places people can go and catch up with you, right?
Yeah.
Your mom and your dad, I have to get back to them and your family.
Yeah.
I've got to believe they're very proud of you and support you 100%. Yeah. She has a wonderful family of open-minded people that they empower others is what they do. That's my observation from what I can see. They do their best to empower the growth of their children, of their loved ones, so that they have every opportunity to reach whatever goal or potential that they aspire to. Not that common. And you'll look back one day and you'll be, oh my gosh, I was so fortunate. You grew up in a very fertile environment, I believe.
I mean, I feel so fortunate to be supported as an artist by my parents.
Yeah.
It can be a hurdle to hear that your child wants to be an artist because there's you don't get the piece of job security. Then as a parent, you're like, oh, I hope it works out. But they've, from the start, my parents have celebrated my music and really celebrate Ben and celebrate our trio. They've come to see us, even in Raleigh, and super blessed.
One of the things you mentioned when you said you co-produced the album, you write your own music, almost all of it.
Yes.
Do people how difficult that is to do? Both.
It's like breathing to me.
It always was.
Yeah.
But that's a gift. And so you get to tell the story, you get to set the story with the music, and it becomes a very attractive, stylish package. But being able to write and to sing is so unusual.
Yeah, I think we all, it can take a while for some folks, but I think musicians, it's so easy to say, oh, well, like that you've been blessed with this gift,
right?
To be able to do this thing that's so hard to others that comes so easily to you.
Right.
We all have those talents. I mean, you're a wonderful conversationalist. You hold space. It seems like breathing for you to be on here and to be facilitating this.
It's easy with you because there's a little bit of a history, so I'm not note bound. That's not always the case. Not every. But thank you. I appreciate that. But you're smooth, and it's easy to talk with you. You guys really are way beyond your years, and you're always enjoyable to talk with. We're winding down, and I hate that we are, but we got a couple of minutes. So you talked a little bit about your goals going forward, but this would be an opportunity for you to speak to your fans and tell them what you want to set the tone, set the table for the next year and a half.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. May I?
Of course.
And he's smart too.
Yeah,
plus he's smart.
I mean, yeah, it's a wild world out there.
Yes, it is.
I believe it's important to take care of our spirits.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I think we feed our spirits with good community and music and celebration. I think it's important to dance and to cry and to sing and to feel like we're at liberty to be here. I hope that the folks that check out the album, whether it's after the show or maybe you've already checked out the album and you found out about this show, I hope the music leaves you better than when it finds you.
Yeah.
I just feel so excited to connect with people, and I want people to know, if you come out and see us in Raleigh, if you see the trio anywhere, there is a space for you at that show.
Yeah.
We really love what we do.
In between the lines, you also share a philosophy, I sense, about how to live your life and how to rejoice and how to feel. There's so many different layers to, I sense, what you're doing. And again, I'm just impressed so much with your commitment. So I wish you guys the very best. You have always been a pleasure to watch develop. I mean, a joy to me. And Ben, it's been great to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
And I hope we get a chance to see each other again. And I'll be looking out for you as well. And we can just direct everybody to your website where they can start, AnnelleStaal.com.
Yeah.
Easy. You've made my fall season. This is my favorite part of the year, and I wish you the very best with the album coming out next week.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Annelle.
having
It's
us.
good to
Thank
see
you so much.
You didn't call me Mr. Bill. I love you for that.
I had to make the change for the show.
Ben, it was great to meet you too.
You too, Bill.
This is All Things Moore County. Have a great week. Thank you.
You make it feel like we're the first two on earth, marveling at who God might be in all of his great work. Wonder if working is something we should do. You make it feel like we don't need to. You make it feel like we could change the world. And when you look at me, I can really feel her twirl. I feel like everything in between with you, like I'm the prism shooting through the blue. Oh, I'm as high as a mountain when we're walking side by side. I'm as small as a mustard seed looking into your sky.